Gotta restart that. I'm gonna find my mojo. Now, when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals, of all teams, it wasn't really their offense that was the problem this year. It really wasn't. I think Joe Burrow led all quarterbacks in terms of passing yards. He was one of the recipients of the Comeback Player of the Year award. You know, Jamar Chase got a triple crown. The offense was more explosive than it has ever been, pretty much, in the entire Joe Burrow era. The problem this year was the defense, and it was without a doubt. I mean, you can't let up nearly 41 points to the Washington Commanders and expect to win. There's nothing Joe Burrow could practically do in that game. It was like every single time he went off the field, there was a problem with the defense here and there. And especially when it comes to right now in the salary cap era, it's going to be hard to rebuild this defense. And here's why. You have, I think, 3 to 4 crucial re-signs that you have to give to these players. You got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Travion Hendrickson, and I'm trying to forget their backup running back, but he's also crucial into the offense too as well. I think his name is Chase Edmonds or something like that. But especially those 3 guys that I listed right before, they are so crucial to the success of this offense. And right now, as it stands, you can't sign all of them. It's impossible. Because you had all of them this past season, and you guys still missed the playoffs with a loaded offense right now. And the defense, you want to improve this defense, but, you know, it has to be at a cost of somebody. Who that somebody should be, ironically, I think it should be, without a doubt, T. Higgins. I mean, I don't see the man re-signing with y'all anyways. I mean, he could be a top, receiver on any of the other, 32 NFL teams, ironically. He could be a wide receiver 1 for the Colts. He could be a wide receiver 1 for potentially the Giants. He could be a wide receiver 1 for the Bills even. I mean, why in the hell would he stay with the Bengals, have to commit with and compete with Jamar Chase, and be on an offense which is very explosive? Yeah, it's going to be explosive, but the defense will never help you win whatsoever. And that's just been a fact all season long, right? It's the reason why they didn't make the playoffs. And the fact that Joe Burrow carried that offense to 9 wins this season with, ironically, I think was the worst defense in the NFL is crazy. What I feel like, in perspective, they should do, they do have a franchise tag available this offseason. Ironically, I think they won't use it on T. Higgins. Most likely, the best answer would be Travion Hendrickson and push his contract maybe further down the line, see how he does next season or something like that. But ironically, T. Higgins won't be getting the tag, if I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I think he's gonna hit free agency, test free agency, be a wide receiver 1 on any other team, like I said. And most crucially, they have to sign Jamar Chase. And what struggles with me too, with saying that as well, is the fact that they could have signed Jamar Chase last season before CD Lamb got his contract extension, before Justin Jefferson got his contract extension as well, before all these wide receivers like AJ Brown got his contract extension as well, Devontae Smith, I feel like Jaylin Waddle, all those guys of last season got their contract extensions, but the Bengals didn't even move to sign, Jamar Chase. There was this whole thing, too, about him sitting out in practice and him not, participating in practices until he got his contract extension. But obviously he was still on his rookie scale deal, but it kind of hurts because right now he's the Triple Crown leader. You can't pay him basically any, less than what Justin Jefferson got. He probably will get more just because of the fact that you guys waited so long, that now this guy that is so crucial to your team and how Joe Burrow runs the offense and stuff like that, the guy who won the Triple Crown, is, testing free agency. And you can't lose him. And I know it sucks, too, because you guys should have done this earlier, but I don't see the Bengals improving at all anytime soon. And that's just being frank with y'all. Because the key factor in winning championships is defense. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit too when my guest comes as well. But it's very, very crucial that you have a good defense. Good defenses on any day or any given week, basically, will always substitute for a good offense. Because a good offense could be great, but they could have a couple missed, drives, couple missed throws, mistakes there. A good defense will carry with you basically for the whole season, right? It's better to have a great defense than an average offense, per se. And honestly, that should have been the way with the New York Knicks, not the New York. Why am I calling them the New York Knicks? They've become so irrelevant that I've been calling them the New York Knicks now. But the New York Jets, right? It should have been that way this season. They had an amazing defense. Don't get me wrong. Robert Saleh did an amazing job with those guys, in the earlier part of the season. Jeff Ozari or something like that. Behind him, I think, was the defensive coordinator. And he did an amazing job, too. I'm going to be honest. The defense wasn't as good under Jeff, wait, hold on. Ooh. Made dirty. Hold on. Yeah, but the offense wasn't as good under, Jeff. Normally... myself. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get it right this time. I will have to say though, the defense was better underneath Robert Saleh compared to how it was with Jeff, the interim head coach for the Jets. But the blame for the Jets too this season, the entire season actually, was the offense, and more specifically Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he could just not get it going. He looked like a shell of his former self. It seemed like that Achilles tear that he took, over a year ago really got to him and his throwing ability. Because he doesn't throw the ball like he used to. Aaron Rodgers used to have, some zip on the ball when he threw it. He used to have some pizzazz, some, sparkle on the ball. Now it doesn't even seem like that no more. Kind of seems like how it is with Kirk Cousins right now after he tore his Achilles. That he can't really throw the ball how he used to. And that's the problem with, Achilles tears. Like, quarterbacks can come back from, ACL tears and, be, dominant as ever. We saw that with Joe Burrow. He has, ever since his rookie year, he's been a dominant, guy in the league ever since. But when it comes to Achilles tear, it kind of, affects the muscle, in your throwing form. Because now you have to support more on the balance of your legs and stuff like that. Or more on your arms and stuff like that. It's less on, the form of how it is. And more on how you throw it. I think that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Just my point is with all of this is that with quarterbacks, ACL, other tears, shoulder tears even, they are possible to come back from. Achilles, not so much. We very much saw that this offseason. Also, Aaron Rodgers' future is also in doubt because the team actually reported over the last couple of days that he will not be returning to the New York Jets. They are right now looking in a different direction, which is totally understandable. They changed their entire front office, entire coaching staff as well. And usually when it comes to new coaching staffs and stuff like that, they normally don't stick with the guy that the old organization used to have. I mean, that's what happened with Russell Wilson. Once, his old head coach that was friends with Aaron Rodgers, I don't even remember his name. He's the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets, but he got fired, and then Sean Payton came in, and after one season, he was just done with Russell Wilson. He said, "Hey, I want to go after my guy. I want to get my own QB," and right now, I don't feel like Russell Wilson is the answer, which is completely fine. And with Aaron Rodgers, they just don't believe he's the guy. But at this point, I don't see them having any better options. Let's be honest. Let's be for real here. Who else is going to be better over Aaron Rodgers? I mean, Kirk Cousins. I mean, maybe you could miraculously draft up in the NFL draft to get maybe Shador Sanders or Cam Ward potentially, or maybe you could get a sleeper in the second or third round with Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. It honestly depends, but I don't really see a quarterback right now that would be better than Aaron Rodgers and how he normally is. And if you think you're gonna right now put I'm trying to remember. Hold on. And then when it comes to your backup QBs, I mean, you can't really go anywhere with Tyrod Taylor. I'm sorry. He's a valuable, backup guy in case, stuff hits the fan. But you also can't depend on him. You can't depend on Jordan Travis either to lead your team to success. At least not this early. He can't start after just one season, y'all. But it honestly looks like very sad for what the Jets' future had in mind. I mean, they had all the tools. I'm going to be honest. They had all the talent in the world. They had potentially all the coaching in the world. But the coaching shouldn't have been a problem anyways. I mean, look at the defensive side of the ball. You had Quinnen Williams. You added good talents in the draft in Sauce Gardner. You got a good wide receiver in the first round, in Garrett Wilson. Both him and Sauce Gardner were rookie defensive player of the year and offensive, rookie of the year. They were both, great team captains. C.J. Mosley was another guy that was very, very good, in that linebacker room. You had Quinnen Williams, like I said earlier. He's a dominant threat. You had a good offensive line. I mean, they made it an absolute priority to defend Aaron Rodgers and defend his protection as much as possible. They drafted Olu Fashanu. They got guys within free agency. They got Tyron Smith, I believe, as well through potentially a trade or a free agency. I don't know. But they added all these tools, man. And then on wide receiver, they even did more. They got him his, best friend wide receiver in Devontae Adams. They got Mike Williams. They got all these guys that they honestly didn't really need, but they wanted to add just so Aaron Rodgers is ready. It was all resting on his shoulders, man. It was all resting on Aaron Rodgers to take them to the promised land. Obviously, we know how that turned out. Sorry, Jet fans. But honestly, how it looks right now, you either have two options. You either blow this entire thing up or you try and find a new quarterback and make it work. Because it's very sad that you have all these, players on a rookie scale contract. And many players are on, low fitting contracts to them compared to what the salary cap is, and now you can't even, fathom having to pay these players now and not having the benefit of all these rookies on all these rookie scale contracts too, and it's like, really, what if they had a good quarterback this season? That's going to be the biggest what if for the New York Jets, man. And honestly, I don't see it, improving anytime soon with Aaron Glenn as well. He's a defensive coach, basically. He's made to, succeed Robert Saleh in some way, and that really helps the defense. I'm not gonna lie, that really does help the defense. But compared to the offense, I don't know really about that, man. I don't know. I just don't like it, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Bro, from basketball, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. So, obviously, I know you play basketball, but you got some ball knowledge, right?
Yeah,
you know other stuff, right?
Yeah, I know a little bit.
Okay, a bit about football too, right?
Yeah, I know a little bit about football too.
All right. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl. Yeah,
yeah,
that was a good game, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. What do you think was really the X factor in what happened in that game, man?
It was
let me hear it.
definitely the defense. Like,
The
if you
defense.
could give like like an MVP to like just one side of the ball, it would definitely be the defense.
Definitely defense, man. It felt like that pass rush was getting to Mahomes within like
Of course.
even a few seconds.
I think they had like 6 sacks on them.
6
and,
sacks in the
one
entire
forced
game.
fumble.
Oh yeah, that one forced fumble at the
Yeah,
at the end. Yeah, I saw that too, man. And I think it was free picks too in the secondary too.
Yeah, pick 6 from
Cooper DeJean,
yeah,
the rookie.
The rookie, go bro. He a dog.
He is a dog, bro. And it was on his birthday too, which was
Yeah,
a crazy
and
thing.
Saquon Barkley's birthday. Saquon, my favorite running back of all time.
Me too, bro. I mean, what the Giants did to him was dirty, bro.
Yeah, it was a bad sight.
It was a bad sight. And seeing him win a Super Bowl, bro, you know, it kind of made me, you know, smile a little bit, bro.
Yeah, weird.
And it also made me kind of feel jealous because my Giants are not going anywhere near
Weird.
that. So I'm kind of salty on that. But, you know, regardless, I feel like in the entire game, the defense definitely excelled, bro. I mean, they added some new additions this offseason. They got a new linebacker by the name of Zach Bond. He was in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, if you didn't know that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, and then they had, you know, a veteran in Darius Slay. You know who he is,
I
the
know
cornerback. He's probably going to retire after this year, but you also got, you know, Cooper DeJean, you know, Adonai Mitchell, who, by the way, they both haven't led a touchdown on the entire year.
And Quinshawn Mitchell.
And, Quinshawn Mitchell as well, bro. So, basically, you know, that entire Eagles defense looks so much changed than it was, like, 2 years ago, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, like, was the main difference that, you know, compared from this year to 2 years ago?
I think the big difference was mainly the defense with getting the Cooper DeJean and also getting the I think his name's like Jaylin Carter.
Jalen Carter from Georgia.
He's a beast on that D line.
Yeah.
And additionally, like getting Saquon and everything like that, and also just wanting to win more. Like they wanted it more, apparently, because 34-zip in the third quarter was a sight to see.
Which I couldn't believe it, man. I mean, don't let that final score deceive you, bro. Like those final points came all within 4 minutes left remaining, bro.
The game was over at the end of the third quarter. It was over.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I left the pub right as soon as they hit 34-zip, bro, and I went to sleep. I knew the game was over, bro, at that point. And the funny thing about it was everybody was posting on Instagram. Oh, he's trying to replicate Tom Brady's 28-3 victory and stuff like that. And I was like,
it's not happening.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
Happening.
Tom Brady's in the league of his own. I'm sorry about that.
Tom Brady was sitting up in that booth with a big ass smile on his face.
So was Gronk on the sideline.
Yeah.
You saw what he said, bro?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, he said it was a disappointment of a game, bro.
It was one of the worst quarterback performances of all time in the Super Bowl, at least.
Really, and people are trying to say that it's not that bad, but like I said, it was 0 touchdowns to 3 interceptions before garbage time, basically.
I think they had 20-some yards at the end of the first half. That's a team.
Which is atrocious as a team.
Yeah, as a team.
That's
how many yards they gained throughout the whole game. Positive.
That's not even 2 first downs, bro.
Barely.
Not even. I don't think I've seen an explosive game or explosive play all game until that Xavier Worthy catch for 60 yards. But like I said, garbage time. But honestly, they were trying to go for the free-peat, man. But obviously, they couldn't do it. I was talking to my boy Dylan last week, and he was talking about Mahomes potentially being in the GOAT debate if he won that game. Obviously, he didn't. But what's your stance on that now?
On him being in the GOAT debate?
Yeah.
It's over now. We got to put that on. We got to put that on pause now.
You got to explain
a couple
more.
years, to see what he did when it came down to it at the end of the day. You were down 34 points, your largest deficit of your career, in the Super Bowl, where it mattered the most, in front of millions of people around the world just watching, and you just couldn't do nothing, couldn't get nothing going. And it's not even you got down there every single time and you guys just couldn't convert. You guys just didn't even make it past the 50-yard line most of the time.
So it looked like they kind of didn't even show up, basically.
Exactly.
The entire offense was left in Kansas City.
Yep. And I knew the game was over when I saw Chris Jones fall to his knees when DeAndre Hopkins dropped that wide open pass.
I know, which pained me, bro. I was like, how didn't you catch that?
Exactly.
He caught that
and
one
he do
ball.
have the best hands in the league.
Yeah.
He got the best hands in the league.
I mean, later in the game, you saw Mahomes throw a fade ball to him in the end zone, and he caught that. That was difficult, but you can't catch a wide open pass, nobody around you.
It might have also been a bad pass because his hands were like this, but he threw it to the bottom.
I mean, you know the rule, bro. If you
still gotta
hits your
catch
hands,
it, you still got to catch it, yeah.
exactly. And honestly, the receivers, everybody on the Eagles side, made plays that the Chiefs simply didn't. I mean, the defensive line was better. The secondary was better.
Yeah.
I mean, the offensive line for the Chiefs was horrendous. I mean, I've never seen a bad of a job. The only time I've ever seen that bad of a performance from the Chiefs O-line was Super Bowl 55 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which they had multiple offensive linemen out. But even now, like, you can't make that excuse.
Yeah.
That, they had players out. That was their entire starting lineup, bro. So, like,
It was very bad.
It was very bad. And, like, I need a depiction, bro. Like, what do you think went wrong? I know we're talking about the defense, but, like, what went wrong for the Chiefs? Because obviously nobody thought this game was going to be like this.
Andy Reid couldn't make any adjustments. He's usually the best coach when it comes to making adjustments, like after halftime or anything like that. Because not like Mahomes he hasn't been in a situation before in the Super Bowl or in big times like this where he was down 10 points or more before and came back and won the game. They just simply didn't make any adjustments or the correct adjustments to help beat the Eagles. And that's why they were just down 34 points in the third.
Which, sucks, man. I remember all those times, as a kid where my Giants beat, Tom Brady's Patriots. That was amazing. But what do you think this does for Mahomes' legacy? I mean, obviously it has a tamper on it a little bit, but...
Like Tom Brady said, the one record that's, like, going to matter and always be with you for, like, the rest of your life is that you lost Super Bowl 59 and you had one of the worst quarterback performances in a Super Bowl. And that's going to always be on his record. And even to this day, so Tom Brady still gets, like, clowned or talked about for his, like, bad performances or, like, even when that one player, like, caught the ball with his helmet or anything.
David Tyree.
Yeah. And he still gets that was, like, 17 years ago. I was barely born, and they're still talking about that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, yeah, man. And, like, at the end of the day, you definitely look at this and say, like, it was, hard for him to definitely process that, especially. But what do you think? Do you think Mahomes is going to be back, actually? Like, do you think he's going to be back to the Super Bowl? Like, this...
He can make it back to the Super Bowl.
It.
Unless, obviously, like, he loses Travis Kelce or, like, one of his key players. They also going to have, I'm pretty Rice coming back.
Rasheed Rice, yeah,
Rasheed
from
Rice coming
suspension.
back. Yeah, suspension and his injury. So, yeah.
Which is crucial. I do think he's retiring, though. Like, he didn't specifically say it, but you could tell, bro. It was like,
yeah. He also had, like 4 targets with, like, 1 or 2 receptions.
And he dropped that one catch that would have been a first down, you saw.
Yeah.
In the second quarter, which would have extended the drive, but... at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. I know the Chiefs will definitely be back and stuff like that. I don't feel bad for them at all, though. I'm going to be honest with them. But definitely feel, happy for Philly, especially Jalen Hurts, man. He deserved
that
it.
Boy, Jalen Hurts, he's a dog.
You seen what he's been through his entire career, man. He got benched at Alabama for Tua, and he won the game for him. He sat out the next year. Then won them the SEC championship game when he got injured. Then transferred to Oklahoma, had a Heisman season, got drafted into the second round by the Eagles, and ever since then, people have still been counting him out, saying that he's not a good quarterback and stuff like that.
Yeah, some people say he wasn't even going to make it to the Super Bowl, and he won the Super Bowl.
He won it, bro. I mean, I think he's the first quarterback to ever reach a second Super Bowl and win it after losing the first time.
It's a great thing to see, man. Always gotta prove them doubters wrong.
Gotta prove him doubters wrong, bro. And Jaylin has been doing that, bro. His entire, work ethic, I respect it, bro. That's the type of Mamba mentality that you've seen from, Kobe, bro.
Yeah,
Is that, you never let up, you give trust in, God and, like, everything like that. And you reap the rewards, bro. And right now he got a Super Bowl because of it. So
exactly,
bro.
He really did deserve that MVP. But I would have liked it though if Saquon won it,
Honestly, if they gave it to like a specific spotted team, I honestly would have gave it to the defense.
Yeah, the defense. That's why I said, like, if you could give it like an award to like just one side of the ball, you'd give it to defense for sure.
For sure, bro. I mean, if
holding the Chiefs, one of the best offensive teams in the league, or the best offensive team in the league, to only 20-some yards in the first half is really, really good.
It is crazy, bro. Not even the refs could save him that time.
With a pick and another pick six from your rookie corner in zone coverage. It's crazy.
It is crazy. He absolutely sniffed it out too, man. I was ecstatic when that happened. Oh my God, my heart was racing, man.
And he's now the only player in NFL history to have a pick six in the Super Bowl on his birthday.
That's very true, bro. I mean, I would have loved to see Saquon getting one on his birthday. That would have been the cherry on top. But
it would have been nice. But he's a humble guy, so he's fine with his Super Bowl ring.
He's fine. As long as you get the ring, nothing really matters, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. You don't have to be the hero every time. As long as you get that, boom, it is what it is. But I'm gonna go over to basketball because I know you know this stuff.
Yeah.
I know you definitely. Who's your favorite team, by the way?
Okay, so I'm a Steph Curry fan. I don't really have a favorite team, therefore I am a Warriors fan because I am a Steph Curry fan.
It pains me, man.
I know.
It honestly does.
I know.
And it's just for the fact that so many bandwagons, bro. Like I'm not saying I'm not saying you won, but like, come on, bro.
Yeah, there'd be some.
But honestly, I can't even blame myself either. But I only say this because I'm a Kobe fan, so LA fan, obviously. And this was before LUKA trade. This was before everything, and we're about to get into that. But this was before LeBron, stuff like that. I had the jersey on me to prove it too, bro, in my baby photo. So I was just always an LA fan ever since, Kobe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure ever since he won his last ring. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, speaking of LA too, bro, you gotta give me a rating on this new trade that happened.
I feel like LA lost the trade.
LA lost the trade?
Yeah, but at this current moment, since AD is out, I guess they won the trade.
They won the trade, okay.
Because AD got hit by the ghost and his abdomen is just not working, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, oof.
And LUKA, his debut, I think he had 14 points, about like 5 assists, 6 assists, and like 4 rebounds. Decent start. LeBron was very excited. He had on his jersey in the workout. A little glazed, but it's fine. But yeah, they put up like 39 points together, like 37 points together. Yeah.
In total, 120 plus points. I mean, that's not to say that, there's still some holes in the team, especially in the front court, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If AD wasn't injured right now, they would have lost that trade. But AD is currently injured, so I guess it turned out for the best. But they have they're leaving their big man assignment up to Jackson Hayes, who is a very decent player right now. He's been holding his own for the past 2-3 games, and he's been proving that he can play that spot by himself. But the Mavs, though, they didn't really need LUKA anymore. LUKA wasn't showing much compassion towards the team or whatever they were trying to say about him.
They tried to say that, he's
he wasn't
unconditioned.
working out, right? Yeah. And they got one of the best big men in the league, or the best big men in the league, but his problem is that he just can't stay healthy, which is a very big problem.
So, like, who would you say won the trade then, since you're kind of making points for both sides?
If everyone, like, at the time when everybody was healthy, or like when they were both injured and it like we didn't know how long they would be out for, and after seeing AD's performance when they played, I forgot who they played. I think they played the Kings.
Yeah, I think they play Sacramento.
Yeah, they either played the Kings or someone else, but he had a really good performance. He had like 26 points. He had a double-double. If he didn't get injured in that third quarter, he would have definitely had a triple-double. I think he was like 3 assists or 3 rebounds away. It was probably 3 assists. But yeah, he had a very good performance his first debut. And I feel like with LUKA, it's just they just still got to find their way. The Lakers got to make sure that that Jackson Hayes can still handle that role at being at the big position.
That's true. I mean, we're also trying to test, what's called the buyout market to see any centers on that.
Yeah.
You got like Daniel Feises, I'm pretty sure, Mo Bamba.
Oh yeah,
Some-
Mo Bamba, yeah.
Some good veteran, role players potentially in that front court. But I had talked about this with Dylan last week. In terms of like the entire trade and stuff like that, when you look at it in the short term, right, win now, yeah, the Mavericks may have won in that term, like in a 1 to 2 year span. But anything like past that, bro, the Lakers have won this
Yeah.
trade clearly.
It's the Lakers won the long term benefits, but we don't know how long term it will be because they basically made that trade for LeBron, and if LeBron's not there, it's just gonna be LUKA, and it's just gonna look like just like how LeBron was there by himself, but without AD, and it's just gonna be LUKA like literally by himself.
I mean, I think they're gonna kind of like bank on the idea that LeBron's coming back for hopefully a couple more years. I don't know how
think
true
LeBron
that
got
is.
like 2-3 years left in him, 2 or 3.
I mean, he looking dominant as ever, bro. 42, the game before this, 27, 6 and 5, I think, in this one against the Jazz. So he's looking amazing, at least from what I'm seeing. Of course, we don't know how long that is going to be for.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Father Time is inevitable, but I don't know. For LeBron, it just seems like he could do this, honestly, until his next son comes into the league, which is kind of crazy, bro. Which, speaking on that, what do you think they're going to do with, Bronny? And even Bryce when he comes to the league, because,
I think that Bryce James is better than Bronny James.
which is not crazy to say. I'm not going to lie.
I believe it.
But you got to give me a reason, though. You got to give us,
Bronny made it to the league just because his last name is James. That's the first reason.
Mhm.
I've never seen an NBA player that came from college getting drafted into the NBA only averaging 2 points a game. There was someone who went undrafted that scored 6 times as many, that averaged 6 times as many points as him and went undrafted.
Which is crazy, bro.
Yeah. Bryce James has also proven that he can do much more at a higher level than Bronny James. He's done way more. He's been doing way more.
I mean, yeah, they say he's the best shooter in his family, which if you look at his shooting form and everything like that, he has. Problem is with with Bryce, especially, his development hasn't gone nearly as fast as it would with Bronny.
Mm.
So that's the one negative you could see about him. But like in terms of his like size, bro, like he's already 6'6". He's like 200 something pounds, and he's a generally big guy, and he's able to dunk and attack the rim, and he has all that talent.
Very good IQ too.
He has good IQ too. Like he's like his dad basically.
And I feel like LeBron just threw Bronny into the NBA just so he could get that one thing that the first father-son duo to ever touch the floor.
Which is iconic, but
It is iconic, but you also gotta think that his son is not ready for the NBA yet. That's why they keep throwing him back and forth between the G League and the NBA. But it is what it is. Like, he should have took like the Carmelo Anthony approach with Kaya and Anthony, like making sure that his son has his own path, his own everything, just to go to the NBA. And he could take his time. If he has to spend 3-4 years in college, he says so be it. And if he wants to spend 2 years in college and he could go into the NBA, then so be it. But he has to at least develop his game and fully develop it instead of just getting thrown into the NBA just automatically.
I mean, we gotta remember too that he came back from a cardiac arrest
Yeah,
in
I
the
do
March of that
remember
year.
I do remember that.
So you can't really put all the blame on him too much for that because he came from something that most athletes like would be done after. But like at the same time, like you said, I've never seen an athlete get drafted mainly because of who their father is, which is insane. But I mean, that's the power that LeBron had in the Lakers GM offense.
Yeah.
Office, of course, and
Because he told him that, like, if my son doesn't get drafted by
You know.
us, I'm going to the Warriors.
he really said that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he said that. I thought he said like, I'll go to whatever team signs my son. But like, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. He also did say that. But he was probably going to go to the Warriors.
Honestly, and then we saw that Jimmy Butler trade and everything. Just
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, he already put Noah. They came back down. I think they was down like 20-some, 30-some points to the Bulls. And they were able to come back off that. And they were able to win by a good amount too.
I mean, you're pairing up Jimmy Butler with Steph Curry. Jimmy
Steph.
Butler's, like the playmaker type guy and the defensive guy, like that Clay kind of was, and then
Yeah.
Steph's a shooter, obviously.
Yep.
He's just, it's so beautiful to watch. He also looks unguardable too, man. Like, how old is he? 36?
Who, Curry?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's 36.
36, bro. I mean, people talk about LeBron's longevity, bro, but Steph is going to be amazing for years to come because it doesn't rely on his, physicality.
He's just a shooter.
The greatest shooter of all time, not just a shooter, bro.
The great, yeah.
The greatest.
Greatest, my goat.
Your go-to? Your goat?
Yeah,
Seriously?
that's my goat, bro.
Oh, that's kind of wild now, bro.
That is
I'm not
my
going to
goat.
lie.
They keep calling my goat Wash. They keep calling him everything else. But he's had, I'm pretty sure yesterday made his third game back-to-back where he had at least 30 points.
Which is impressive, but still, I'm kind of pondering at the GOAT comment, bro. Like, maybe
That's my
are you talking about point guards or are you talking about all time?
That's my goat all time, bro. That's my goat all
I
time.
don't know about that. The MJ and LeBron fans are going to be like,
That's my goat, bro.
they're not going to be bumping that, man.
It is what it could. We determine the game of basketball and we determine like who's best, not just based off of individuality, but based off the teams, who wins championships, because that's the point of the game, to win championships. And against who, it also matters. LeBron has lost to Curry, 3 times in the finals. Curry has beat him 3 times in the finals.
Bro, you forgot something. That was when they had Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant was 1 year?
No, he was there for 2 years, 2017.
I know, he was there for 2 years, but he only played
he-
LeBron 1 year, right?
No, he played them both 2 years.
Both
My
2
mistake.
years.
He played 3 years there until 2019 when he played against the Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he played him both times 2 years, the 2 years before that. And, bro, there's nothing you could do about that. It was unguardable.
Curry has also shown that he can win with and without KD. And KD has shown that he can win with Curry, but he can't win with Curry. Win without Curry.
Which, honestly, I saw rumors, too, online, which KD said that he didn't want to go back to the Warriors. They put in a trade for him.
Oh, yeah. I ain't expected to go through either,
He just didn't want to go there.
It is what it is. KD didn't want to be over here. He ain't want to win another ring, apparently, so it is what it is.
No, but I feel like it's because he didn't want to live in the stigma that he needed Curry all of his career. So even if he did win another championship, they're still just going to say, oh, you only did it with Curry.
It's true, though.
But
It's true. He couldn't beat them. He couldn't beat them when they didn't have him. Like in OKC when he had Russ, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka, all those great players. He He couldn't beat them in the Western Conference Finals. They blew a 3-1 lead, I believe, in the Western Conference Finals to the Warriors. And he just proved that, like, he needed Curry, man. Like, and then Curry showed that, like, even with his team at their worst, with just Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, who were not bad players at all, but like that's probably like the worst his team was out of all those 4 rings, and like he proved in 2022 that like, he could still get a ring, no matter what.
That's true. You make a solid argument. I'm not gonna lie, but I still kind of feel like it's in MJ's realm, or either one of MJ or LeBron's realm. But that you make a solid argument. I'll give you that, bro. But
he's definitely in the top 5, top 3. Maybe.
Definitely, no doubt. He actually isn't. I feel like he solidly has an argument.
Yeah.
Not the perfect argument, but he has an argument nonetheless.
Yes.
But what about the other trades? I mean, obviously we went over Jimmy Butler and his trade there, but like, what about the Aaron Fox's trade? That was interesting.
I didn't expect that at all.
At all, really? Why not? I mean, you kind of knew Zach LaVine was going to get lifted at some point, and De'Aaron Fox said he wanted out, but I didn't know it was going to be like this.
I actually didn't know De'Aaron Fox said he wanted out.
He wanted out, yeah.
But the trade, it was a pretty decently even trade, you know, franchise player for franchise player. I felt like the Kings still won that trade because Malik Monk, I'm pretty sure he won 6 Man of the Year once. He's also shown that at that starting point guard position, he can be very good at the position. Yesterday, they were in a very tough matchup against the Mavs. I don't know how it was that tough because there was no AD, there was no PJ Washington, there was no Daniel Gafford for like most of the game because he only played like 11 minutes and got injured. And it was just like other players just there. And long story short, I put in a parlay.
You put in a parlay? What did you put in?
I put $50 on the Bulls. No, let me think. The Kings to I bet on the Kings to beat the Mavs. I gotta figure out what other team.
I think it was. I honestly think it was. Yeah, I feel like the Kings won over the Mavs in that game, but double check if you see what game I could do.
Yeah, I bet on the Kings and I bet on the Hawks.
The King and
the
the Hawks
to beat the Magic. Pretty decent game. They won by 6. It was a little close, but yeah. And the Kings won in overtime, but I cashed out early because I thought I was gonna lose my bread once again. So I only won $7 when I could have won $200-some. Yeah, I was pretty mad.
What do you put down total?
I put down $50.
Oh yeah, like you said. Oh, that would have hurt.
It did hurt.
Oh my god.
It did hurt, But as I was watching that game, it shouldn't even have been that close. DeMar DeRozan, there was like 11 seconds left. There was no shot clock, and he just took a shot, and that sent the game
to overtime.
Nah, I didn't send it to overtime. They went down, scored a layup or something like that, and then he came back, got the ball, and made a floater or whatever. Stepped through 2 defenders, floater. And yeah, that's how they won the game. I didn't think they was gonna win, and they ended up winning. So yeah,
which is
it's very unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. You could have won $250, fam.
Yeah,
imagine what. I would be salty.
I am, bro. I still am. But back to that trade though. The Mavs, they definitely won that trade because. I mean, not the Mavs. What am I saying? The Kings. The Kings definitely won that trade.
Uh-huh.
They had a backup point guard, Malik Monk. I trust him at the point guard position. Pretty good facilitator. He usually doesn't get a lot of turnovers like that. And the Spurs, on the other hand, it's like the Kings barely won. And the Spurs, they were able to get a score at the point guard position, De'Aaron Fox, but he can also facilitate, play make, and then they also have a veteran point guard who just is really a playmaker, Chris Paul, he could facilitate a lot, and then pairing them up with Wemby and all the other assets that they have on the floors, pretty decent team. Very very good team. They could easily go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they done a great job rebuilding that roster too, bro. I mean, when it came time to draft Victor Wembanyama, you obviously got a generational player, and then immediately, bro, they started getting him assets after his first season, after he started turning into a superstar.
Yeah.
Like you said, added Chris Paul, then De'Aaron Fox, a fifth trade. I mean, honestly, do you think they have potential to reach maybe the Western Conference Finals, maybe, semifinals? What do you think?
I feel like they have to get through a couple of teams before they get there. I feel like they can definitely make it past the first round into the second round, and they might stop there. Because in that Western Conference, there's a lot of teams you got to get through. You got to get through OKC. You got to get through Memphis, because Memphis is now one of the deepest teams in the league. They have very good bench, very good starters, and everything. Who else?
You got to worry about the Nuggets and Jokic, obviously.
Nuggets been on BS lately. They've been losing to, they lost to the Wizards one time. They've been losing to Trailblazers a lot, but Trailblazers are actually picking up speed right
They
now.
are?
They're doing very good.
Problem is they don't got shooting like they used to.
Yeah.
So, we also got the Lakers you got to worry about. You got to worry about they had a good game. I'm not going to say definitely, but...
They could definitely... They probably got... But they could beat... The Spurs can beat the Lakers.
Potentially. We'd have to see, but obviously OKC, I mean, probably most dominant team in the Western Conference.
And, Hartenstein was holding it down while Chubb was out. Doing a great job. Shea, who was going on a streak, 30 points every game.
MVP type run?
Yeah, MVP. Looking like James Harden when he went on that month where he was averaging 40. He was averaging 40 for a month. And Shea was doing that too. Another player that's been carrying the load too is Tyrese Maxey, bro. He's a dog, bro.
He is. I mean, on the 76ers, you talking about Tyrese?
And nobody can guard him, but he gets it from James Harden, who was his mentor when he was on the 76ers.
Which is true. I mean, but aren't the Sixers having a bad season?
They are having a bad season, but I'm just naming players who just standing out, even though things are going bad for them,
Which is true. I mean, what about the Eastern Conference? You've been talking a lot about the Western Conference, but I want to hear some of the teams that you got.
In the Eastern Conference, there's a lot of good teams. So you got the Cavs, the Celtics, the Knicks are starting to pick up. You got the Pacers too, pretty decent team. In the East, let me think. Who else?
I mean, there's not a lot of teams you can note about, honestly.
Yeah.
You talked about the Celtics. You talked the Bucks, obviously.
Oh yeah, the Bucks when Giannis is doing his thing, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Lillard has also been playing pretty well, even though Giannis isn't there. He had 30-some points last night, I believe. Yeah. He's been doing very good.
They're great when they play. I'll give you that. It's just availability that's the problem.
Yeah, of course.
But with all that being said, I want to know your picks for the finals, right? And who's
who I got
win.
going to the finals?
Yeah, who you got going?
I would
right now at this time in the season.
At this time of the season, I would love to see OKC versus Cavs.
OKC versus Cavs? You mean both number 1 seeds?
Yeah, I would love to see that. But to be realistic, I believe that somehow someone in the East is going to beat the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I believe that OKC can bring it home all the way, because nobody's guarding Shea. Chet is back. Hartenstein is very good 5.
You got Jaylin Williams too.
J-Dub, very good player. And their bench is also just amazing.
It's amazing, and they have picks for years to come too. So if they want to make changes or add another superstar, I mean, they could practically do it.
They can do whatever they want.
Which is the biggest benefit of the Paul George trade is that they got all these draft picks until 2030, and they don't got to worry about that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some good picks. I would pick OKC honestly, and then a rematch with the Boston Celtics, mainly because of their defense, which has been amazing. I think it's top 5 in the NBA this year. And then on offense, I mean, you can't double team, Jason Tatum and leave like Jaylin, Brown 1-on-1. And even then, you got Drew Holiday to worry about, Kristaps Porzingis maybe on the outside as a big man, deep threat. So,
Yeah.
they have potential to go all the way.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They definitely do.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, not at all. I mean, that's great. But what about March Madness? We're getting close.
March Madness?
It's only like 3 weeks away, man.
I honestly don't watch college basketball.
You don't watch college basketball? Not even during March Madness time?
March Madness time, of course, I watch it. Very entertaining. One of the biggest spotlights in the world, for basketball, especially college. But yeah, it's like I don't really watch it like that. I should start watching it more, but I'm not really too much into college basketball,
You're more of like an NBA person
Yeah.
to like watch pro, which is respectful. It's respectful, but like at the end of the day, everybody does the brackets. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like everybody, even if you don't.
I only
watch
did a
basketball.
bracket one time.
One time?
Last year, like my senior year.
Okay.
I didn't know who to pick, so I was just fucking filling that shit out randomly. So I didn't have no knowledge at all. So I was just putting down what I thought, and I had a decent bracket.
I actually got the 2 winners right. I didn't get the perfect bracket, but I got the 2 winners. I put down South Carolina for women's, and then I put men's UConn, and they both ended up winning. So that was great. Obviously, getting like a perfect bracket, that's like less of a chance than like winning a lottery. I think. So, I mean, but I got the 2 winners. I'm proud about that. This year, probably saying though, I would probably go with like. I think USC for women's, bro, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Juju Watkins?
Oh, yeah, Juju Watkins, she's tough.
She's insane, bro.
Yeah,
Plus, she got all that depth. I think Riri Jenkins, I'm pretty sure it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. She's a good, small forward for them, too. She's been having a dominant season. And even LSU, bro. With Flodgy Johnson. She also has a podcast in overtime. Yeah, she's also, too. She's been a dog as well, so... Those 2 on the women's side are great. On the men's side, I mean, how could you not go against Cooper Flag, bro?
Oh yeah, Cooper Flag. He's gonna go first pick in the draft.
Definitely, bro. He's gonna be a superstar, bro.
Yeah, he really is.
Lord and behold, bro.
Even during that the USA Olympics time, they said he was a problem. Even the NBA players saying he's a problem.
Pro athletes saying that bro is a problem, bro. That's gonna be when he gets to the league. It's gonna be devastating.
Word.
I wonder who's gonna get the number 1 pick.
I feel like someone's gonna get the number 1 pick, but then they might trade him to another team, like how they usually do. That's what
you would trade Cooper Flag to another team.
No, but how they have to swap him.
Oh, like pick swaps or something.
Pick swap, yeah. I feel like that's what they do.
But who has a pick swap this year?
I don't know yet, but I feel like some team is gonna get one probably.
Probably. You're right about that. Okay. But, yeah, those are probably my, picks at least for the men's and women's brackets. That's, good to see about. And it's so chaotic because any team can win. And, do you know if any other person has, filled out a perfect bracket at all? Or, no? That's just, unheard of, bro. Bless you. But, yeah, that's... completely unheard of. I feel like I'm missing something too, bro. I was gonna talk about NFL free agency, bro.
I don't really keep up with that.
You don't keep up with it? No, damn. I mean, there's some teams that you gotta know that have been doing bad and need some key pickups. You don't have to know exactly the players.
I remember there was some players that were moving into free agency though. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stephon Diggs is a person that's doing that. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, obviously they're going to be traded, but I talked about this earlier before you came, that the Bengals might be screwed, bro.
Yeah, especially if they lose that duo with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have been on the same team since college.
Yeah.
They have so much chemistry together. That's why, in my opinion, they're like the best duo, like wide receiver quarterback duo in the league right now.
And I don't think Joe Burrow lives like within reality at all, dog. Because like he signed that big contract extension, I think last year, maybe the year before that, where he's like a top 5 highest paid QB in the NFL, and he says he wants the Bengals to get everybody else. When he took up this big contract, I just don't understand why he didn't at least take a pay cut or something like that. Because now you have to sign Jamar Chase when you could have done it last year, right? Before CD got his contract extension, before Justin Jefferson got his contract extension, before all the wide receiver 2s got theirs as well. And then you got T. Higgins, who could be a wide receiver 1 on any other team, right? And then Travion Hendrickson is arguably the best edge rusher in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
And he's on the worst defense in the NFL. So, like, they're kind of screwed. They don't have, that big of money. They don't have New York Yankees money. So, like, I don't know what they're going to do, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in right now.
Yeah, and they didn't even make the playoffs, even with Joe Burrow's and Jamar Chase's miraculous season.
Yeah.
So, it's really like, what are you going to do at this point?
One guy I'm excited to watch next year, like Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, he had an amazing year, bro.
Well-deserved Rookie of the Year. Well-deserved.
He went from the number 2 overall pick all the way to the Western Conference Finals, bro, in his first year. And lost to the Super Bowl champions. I think that's a success of the year.
It is. He took that team off from being off the map and put them on the map. Let them be heard. They beat the Detroit Lions, who had a stacked team. They had that crazy offense with Jahmyr Gibbs, very fast player, very great running back, and then you got David Montgomery, just a powerhouse, run through anybody. Then you got you got Jared Goff, one of the best and accurate throwers. He be throwing 16 for 16 in the first quarter, first half, and just be going nuts. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jay Will, I think that's the name.
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, Jameson Williams.
Fast guy, bro.
Very
so
fast. And Sam Laporta too, very good tight end.
And they have one of the best O-lines in the league too, bro.
Yeah, and then their defense it also gets good too. They got very good corners out there, and D linemen too, good rushers.
And they didn't even have Aiden Hutchinson this year.
Yeah,
a bunch of their key defensive players were out this year too, bro.
Yeah.
And both of their coordinators also left, so it's gonna be
Dan Campbell, man, very good coach. Very good coach.
He is. I would love to play under a guy like him. Him and Mike Tomlin, bro. Are you serious? They're the type of coach you'd love to play under, man. Yeah. I mean, even though they lost both their coordinators, Ben Johnson went to the Chicago Bears, I think, and then Aaron Glenn went to the Jets. So,
yeah,
we're gonna rebuild, though. We're gonna be back, definitely.
Yeah, but I feel like the Lions, if they don't make that mistake again, they definitely going. They definitely win. What are they in the AFC? Yeah, the AFC.
No, the NFC. Right?
They're in the NFC.
Yeah.
They're definitely win the NFC championship next year, and they could potentially go to Super Bowl too and win. That team is very stacked. They weren't supposed to lose that game, but it happens.
I honestly feel like Jared Goff lost them that game. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but when it counts, he just is not there.
Yeah, all that stuff before to get you there doesn't matter. It's what happens there and after.
Exactly. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, next season I feel like it's going to be a fire season, especially after the draft. Which, by the way, who do you think is going to be the most notable player of the next draft?
Travis Hunter, of course.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis Hunter. I want to see him like make history, you know. Because in college, I don't watch college football a lot, but I'll just go around, watch the highlights or whatever, and his like the stuff that he does is just unhuman. Like to see that what he does, and like the amount of times that like he's always in the right spot at the right time, because his knowledge at cornerback helps him with his knowledge at wide receiver, and his knowledge being a wide receiver helps him with his knowledge at being a corner, and it's crazy, but I feel I want to see him prove people wrong, saying that like he can't play both sides of the ball like for that many snaps in the NFL, because they believe that it's just a grown man sport. But I feel like he could definitely do that though. You know, he could do it in college, but I know college and NFL are like very two different leagues. But
2 different leagues.
But they always do the comparison, like imagine having to guard Tyreek Hill when you're on defense, and then after that you get a stop or whatever, and you have to go ahead and go against Jalen Ramsey. But I feel like you get it done, you know? You get it done for sure.
He definitely would. A lot of people have him as cornerback 1, and then we're going to like have him in the offensive game as wide receiver 3 or 4. Yeah. That's what they're getting from, you know, some NFL scouts, but I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And
I feel like he would be good for the market as like a wide receiver, you know, because everyone wants to like be a wide receiver or like play offense at least, you know, because that's the market where the market is at the highest compared to cornerback. But he's probably going to be like put into the draft as a wide receiver, and then they'll probably give him like packages for a corner. That's what they've been saying at least. But I feel like he's definitely gonna do some great things. Cam Ward gonna do some great things.
Shador Sanders.
Yeah, Shador Sanders too. They all gonna do great things. I like this draft class, you know.
I really do. And the thing with Travis too, bro, that's funny, is that ever since he won that Heisman, man, he started a whole wave with athletes across the nation, guys in the NFL, saying that they want to play both sides. You know, wide receivers are now want to play DB, and, you know, DBs want to play wide receiver. So
he did get snubbed for some of those awards, like how you win Heisman how you win Heisman and then you can't, like, win the best DB award, or a corner award. I forgot what it was called, but he had, like, the best stats in every category for corner, and they just didn't give it to him, and they gave it to someone below him. But he wasn't supposed to win that. He wasn't supposed to win those awards, at least.
Yeah, you didn't even... I mean, he was a finalist for maybe the wide receiver award. I don't know what it was, but, like, he was a finalist for that and still didn't win it.
For the wide receiver? Yeah, that too. It's bad. Very bad.
And, like...
But you win Heisman, so... You played both, so...
It was just because he was, like, you know, good at both of the things he did. He wasn't the best, but, like, he was good at both of the things he was. Which people were arguing, you know, Ashton Genty had a better year than him and that he should have won Heisman.
It's different because at the running back position, there's a lot of times where you're gonna get the ball. Like there's a lot of times where you're gonna play a lot of snaps and you're gonna get the ball a lot at the running back position. A wide receiver, you might not always be open. You may not ever get open. You have to also hope. It's a 2-man job. With the running back position, so it's really just like a 1-man job after you get the ball, and but you're also obviously being helped by your O-line. But like after you get the ball, like, it's just you just running. Wide receiver, you got to work with your quarterback and everything like that. But running back, you also do have to work with your O-line and everything. But like, you're gonna get the ball more times than not, and in an easier fashion too, with just like a handoff.
Very true. I mean, would you say, Travis should have won the Heisman then? Or Genty should have gotten it his way?
He definitely, it's obviously, very, tough decision, because you got, didn't, Ashton Genty break Barry Sanders, record for rushing yards?
I think he won the single season rushing yard record. Yeah.
He beat that, but, for someone who he only played one position, for someone that plays both positions on both sides, the ball is rarely thrown his way, and if it is thrown his way, it's either a knockout or interception. And then to go on the other side and be a wide receiver and get those amount of snaps and play at an efficient level on both sides without having to worry about being tired or anything like that, it's just something great that they've never seen before. So they have to give the Heisman a something they've never seen before. They've seen something like Ashton Genty with Barry Sanders, but you never seen anything that Travis Hunter has done before.
And it's kind of sad because I feel like in the other years, in any other year, Ashton Genty would have won it, which is a testament to how good he is. He would have won it probably last year, Jane Daniels, or even the year before that when Caleb Williams won his award. So
yeah,
I definitely believe he would have been a guy that would have won those last two. But
yeah, he should have. He should have if he does what he does again this year. Well, actually, he's not gonna do it again because he's getting drafted. But if he was to do another year, he would probably win the Heisman Award. And if he did that same performance again,
Yeah. Last topic I want to talk about. A little bit about the WNBA. Maybe not
really.
a lot.
Not a lot. I don't have much knowledge, but I know some of the players.
Some of the players. I mean, do you know some of the players coming into the draft class maybe at all, or even just the most notable ones?
Let me think.
I mean, you got Buckers out of UConn.
Oh yeah, Paige
obviously.
Buckers. Yeah, she's really nice. I've been watching her since she was in high school.
Yeah, me too. She's my favorite player, dog. So she definitely is deserving of that, but definitely Paige. Her teammate Azzy might declare as well. I'm trying to remember what her name was. It's the girl Riri out of USC, I think. If you want, I could probably get you the 2025 list right now, and you could probably see it. I don't know. You probably don't know, right? Which is fine. Like I said, but I think Buckers is at the top, and Olivia Miles, who is out of, Notre Dame. And then the Chicago Sky have the 5th overall pick. They could get Sonia, who I think is from Notre Dame as well, along with Hidalgo. And if you look at the rest of the list right here, right, you got the Mystics with Dominique Malgano. Obviously, Vario. It's Kiki, not Riri, sorry.
Okay.
And then, what is another one? Shane Sellers, she's been going off too.
I don't know.
You don't know any people on this list?
Only Paige Buckers.
Only Paige Buckers, which is incredible too. But, yeah, I mean, how do you think that's going to turn out for the Wings then? I'm not going to ask, the entire depth.
I do know, one of the players on the Wings who are pretty good.
Reek, I think?
Yeah, Enrique, that's what they call it. Very good 3-point shooter. She'd be just lighting it up from anywhere, and she'd be doing her thing. And I've watched some of the WNBA games, but yeah, they've been doing their thing. Caitlin Clark, she's been doing her thing. I think she won Rookie of the Year, right?
She did win Rookie of the Year.
Angel Reese, very good rebounder, but she do be just stat padded with her own rebound, but
and then just putting it back up.
Yeah, it is what it is though. You got to get how you live, bro. So
I mean, if Shaq did that, I feel like nobody would say nothing though. I'm not gonna lie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but it's because Shaq probably made his on the first 2 attempts or something like that, But
true. I mean, I saw a clip one time where she shot 7 in a row and just kept on rebounding.
It is what it is, bro. She says a hard league. I believe,
Well, it's not going to be a testament to anybody, but she does kind of do it. So I'm not gonna put with you on that one. But
But I don't mind, you know. It is what it is, you know.
It is what it is, and regardless, I feel like their draft class is gonna put stamp on the league. Like
Yeah.
Jaylin Clark, especially, bro.
Yeah, she's gonna do some great things, you know.
She is, bro. The league is gonna be good for years to come, and I'm only asking that because of the fact that I'm trying to go in that, right? It's the whole reason why I started this podcast. It's the whole reason why, I talk about women's sports every single time on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually getting invited to an interview with Overtime, the women's basketball, team. So, that's why I was asking today. It's apparently National Women's Sports Day.
Oh, it is? Okay. Shout out to all the women that play sports.
Yeah, they ballers, and I'm hoping to get an internship with them soon. But
Well, overtime?
yeah, Overtime. They have a headquarters in Brooklyn, I believe.
It's very good.
It is.
Good to hear, bro.
I mean, I definitely want to do it, bro. It's nobody's doing it too. Like, you don't know a single person that's like actively doing it. Like, for the NBA, you got Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman when he was there, but you got those guys, and then in the NFL, you got a ton of guys like Tom Brady. You got like Rob Grant. You got all these former players on their side, and like when it comes to women's sports, nobody's like really doing it like that.
Yeah.
We'll be honest with you. So I
But
just want
their recognition will come. Their time will come.
their time will come, but I want to be there when it happens.
Of
You know what
course.
I'm saying? So it's gonna be insane to look at, but like I said, bro, I'm not gonna waste much more of your time, bro. But I want to thank you very much for coming on to this
problem.
podcast.
This is my
You've
first
been legit.
podcast too, you know.
Your first podcast ever?
Yeah, never been on a podcast.
Hey, bro. Now you can say you've been on one.
Of course.
It's your first time, bro. But
Yeah.
I want to thank you. If you have any shout outs, any like media handles you want to shout out, I always ask my guests that. If you got none, it's all good. But
Shout out to this podcast,
to
Keep
this
doing your thing,
podcast,
bro.
hey, I appreciate you, man. I really do. I'm gonna keep on grinding, bro. You're gonna see me at the top one day.
Of course.
Definitely will. But like I said, this is CJ Luna. You guys have been watching Game Day Gridiron, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all.